All right, fire away.
Bill, when you're on the court like this and the game's being played, do you realize as the game's going on, it's kind of an epic
Yeah.
game this turns out?
I did today at about the, I'd say the 2 minute mark, 3 minute mark of regulation. I look down there and they're smiling, and I'm just thinking, God, there's some kids out there playing their tails off and making play after play. We actually did a really good job holding him to 46. I thought Frank guarded great second half. But Woodard, he killed us, and not too often are you going to have two guys combined for 73 on a night, and somehow you still win. But it was an epic game. The only game that I've been a part of in this building, I think we've had a lot of great ones, but that rivals it would be the last Missouri game. but this one was more a respect game. I thought how both teams handled it down the stretch, especially. I think both teams were exhausted, but both teams had total respect for the other. And I watched Buddy's interview after the game on the court, and nothing but class, and Blonde and the program too. And our guys have nothing but respect for how everyone played. If we'd have lost the game, I would have walked into the locker room and I said, you'll never forget this, and this would be a proud one to be a part of. But we beat a team that can win a national championship tonight.
When you were recruiting Perry, and you obviously saw Buddy Hield as well, did you ever feel like you were on the inside track and maybe get both of them?
Well, we recruited Buddy, but we probably didn't recruit him as hard as we obviously should have. Back then we had Ben, and we didn't know Ben would be a one and done kid. So, but I've talked to the OU coaches, and they feel that Buddy's done as much to, just develop a culture there as anybody has, as far as work ethic and personality and enthusiasm. But yeah, I wish we would have got him. But I don't think even Lon would have predicted that he'd be the best player in the country by the time he's a senior.
Well, you talked about how critical Frank is to this team, and in this kind of game, you have someone like him on the court, offensively and defensively. What does that do?
Well, Frank really labored tonight. I mean, this was probably about as poorly as he's played offensively. He's 5 of 20 and turned the ball over and had some bonehead plays, but he made the two plays to win the game. And he's a pit bull, and obviously the play he made there at the end was a ridiculous play to get the deflection and then run it down after he got the deflection. So, but he's a winner. Both teams have a bunch of winners on their team, but if you're going to grade out Frank, he wouldn't grade very high tonight until his game point. And Devontae had a rough first half, but he was unbelievable second half. And Wayne didn't do much the first half, obviously, because of fouls, and he had a great stretch. And but both teams were exhausted. I mean, Perry's a great shooter, and he shoots 2 air balls to end the game because of just fatigue. But I'm proud of our guys, and it's too early. January 4th is too early to be having games like this. But I think it was a great way to showcase a great league, and certainly everybody's going to be talking Big 12 right now, we think, nationally.
How do you think Perry will grade out in this game? He played 50.
Oh, he played great. And the thing about Perry is he plays inside tonight. He missed a lot of close shots. Latin can affect your shot, though. I mean, he blocked everything, it seemed like, within 5 feet of goal there for a stretch. And because we actually drove the ball pretty hard, and we knew he could block shots, but we didn't think he'd block them like that. But Perry graded. I mean, he just missed some shots, but I thought he played great. I thought he played tough, too.
Bill, Perry and Lon talked like that a game like this provides a lesson in the importance of valuing each possession. You feel like maybe that's the number one thing that you hope your guys get from this?
Well, no. What I hope they get for this is realize that we can get better, but realize that we played our butts off. They played their butts off. I'm not gonna look at this and be critical about how the game ended. When guys are playing 50 minutes and they have mental lapses or maybe fatigue creates a lack of whatever, I don't think that's anything to harp on as a negative. I don't see anything negative. If we hadn't won the game, I would say the same thing. That was a 55 minutes and turned the ball over 14 to 16 times. I mean, that's pretty good. So by both teams. Now, granted, we made bonehead play. playing for one, you can't foul with 2 seconds left. You know, you gotta make them, you know, but we got lucky when he missed, and they got lucky, you know, on a couple of times where we missed. Wayne had an uncontested wide open look to win it, and I think the first overtime, but there was, considering that both teams were exhausted and neither team ran one play to try to score, all they did was put players in position to make plays. I thought it was a pretty good game. I don't see anything negative with how either team played.
What'd they do to go on that run in the first half, and did you get your money's worth on the Texans?
I think I probably deserved it. I haven't had one in like 3 years, so there's a lot of pent-up frustration. But you know, we had control of the game. We're up 38-27, and then, you know, kind of had a makeshift lineup out there, and then I'd already burned a timeout, and I didn't want to burn a second one, which was probably not very smart. And then they made all the plays late, and then that, you know, I mean, I got a technical, but that was a ridiculous call, and certainly, you know, a 3-point play that ended up being for them, which could have been the difference in the game and why we lost. So obviously wasn't very smart.
I don't know what your normal routine is, but will you go tomorrow, go somewhere?
I told them we're going to have 2 o'clock practice, full speed.
Just watch this game, just for enjoyment?
Oh yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow. I'm not going to tonight, but I'll watch it tomorrow. And our team, they need to get away from ball for a day and just rest. And I'm sure Lon's going to tell his kids the same thing. And, you know, they'll watch, but you know, you should win at home in the league. So if we hadn't won at home, it put us behind the 8 ball, so to speak. So all we got to, you know, hopefully it just sets us up, gives us a little momentum going to try to, you know, win a couple of road games.
What was the thought of riding Landon there down the stretch?
Well, I mean, we experience. There's no doubt we're going for experience, and Landon's the smartest big guy. That, you know, he and Mara are the 2 smartest big guys we have, and you know, we've talked about our 5 men. Our 5 men combined to go get 15 and 15 tonight. So I thought Maury was great. He gave us second half. You know, he was about the only one playing to start the second half, and of course Landon down the stretch was awesome. So, and he made his free throws, but. I mean, some of those loose balls, diving, you know, sacrificing bodies. I mean, it was 2 teams really, really competing out there.
Bill, Buddy got a standing ovation as he left before. Have you ever seen that from an opponent before?
Once.
Who was that?
Durant. Yeah, he was pretty good here. We held him to 27 the first half, and he sprained his ankle and came back in, and they gave him an ovation while the game was still going on. I thought it was total crap. but I mean, because they knew they were witnessing something special. But that was a special performance by Buddy tonight. I mean, he got 46 on 23 shots. It's not like he got 46 on 35 shots. That was pretty special.
Where does that rank for you among top performances by an opponent, especially in this building?
That's probably as good as, you know, Kevin's was pretty good too. Buddy made hard shots. I mean, we actually defended him pretty good, pretty well. The second half, first half, we didn't guard him as well, but he made some ridiculously tough shots, which are good, bad shots for anybody else, but good shots for him.
Frank played all 3 overtimes with 4 fouls, Jason Buddy Hield all over, it's never got it.
We talked about that. I mean, you know, Devontae had 4, Wayne had 3, and I kept saying, hey, we want to switch, and Frank was like, no, I got him. But yeah, we were fortunate in that regard that he did pick up his 5th.
Devontae said that Frank at halftime said he really wanted to challenge at guarding Buddy. Was that what transpired there?
Well, I told the guys I wanted Devontae. I didn't think Devontae was effective at all, and I told him at halftime, you haven't done anything. Let's see if you can guard him. You know, and I come out there and they say, no, Frank wants him. So I go to Frank. I said, you know, it's going to wear you down. I mean, you know, we can sacrifice Devontae easier from a men's standpoint and try to keep you fresher. He said, nah, I want him. So you know, he's not proud of a guy scoring 24 in the second half or 35 minutes, but I mean, he could have got 60 if Frank wasn't guarding.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, thank you.